This week, I travel over 3,000 miles across America on a train. 4 days of sleepless nights, dodgy food, and delays all the way as I take America's longest train journey from LA to New York City.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to LA Union Station, starting point for my crazy journey across this huge country by train. It's only 3,000 miles and 4 days on a train. What could go wrong? Let's head inside and we'll find out. And that made me jump. So first things first, I've left my phone charger on the plane like an absolute idiot. So my first stop today has got to be somewhere to go and grab the phone charger. If there is anywhere here at the station, let's go and have a look. Thank you. And so it was time to venture inside the American public transport system one more time. This being California, everything more expensive than a bottle of soda was kept locked away, as you do in this part of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh gosh, that was like the craziest shop ever. But hey, I've got my cable and I've got some snacks for on the train. I've got to go figure out where I have to wait now for this thing. It's got about an hour until my train. Eventually though, after some searching, I came across a dark corner of the station that smelled rather like a multi-storey car park in Hull. This led me to the most luxurious part of LA Station, the Amtrak Metropolitan Lounge. Once I'd cleared security, of course.
Good afternoon. What train are you traveling?
It's on the Southwest Chief 4.
Okay, go back to the door. And when you hear the click, please open the door.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you do? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Hello there, how are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Amazing.
TV.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Compared to the griminess of the area downstairs, the lounge felt more like a luxury hotel, and I grabbed a few snacks for the journey before it was time to leave. Alright, so apparently we are boarding now through track 12 for train number 4, the Southwest Chief. It's going to take me halfway across the country at least. Let's go and get on board. But of course, this being a public transport station in America, every turn leads to a little more drama. Don't know what was going on there. Glad I went in there earlier. Maybe they lost the key for the locked cabinet, but in any case, it was time to head to platform 12. My train today, the Southwest Chief, a 3-day ride that'll take me halfway across the country to Chicago. Let's get on board.
Yeah, room for you.
Okay, so you go right here to the left, head upstairs, get upstairs, make a right.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
I was travelling in a roomette for the entire journey to New York. These are usually upstairs as you get on board.
It's fabulous. I've never been in anything like this. Okay, this is amazing.
Right then, so this is my room on the Southwest Chief, the first of 2 trains I'm going to be taking across the country. Kind of getting a bit of PTSD from the last time I rode the Amtrak. It was absolutely filthy last time. This one doesn't seem too bad. They've got these nice new seat cushions. They've sort of refitted them. I think these controls here are all still the same old ones. There's one power outlet for the entire room, and that's it really, but there's only me, so I've only got one power bank now. I've actually managed to pick one up in the shop. We got a little table here that pops out, and then the bed itself comes down. I mean, this thing here, it sort of pops down and comes over the top of these seats to give me a nice bed, so I can actually leave that down, and then I've got the choice of sleeping up there or sitting down here. Pretty soon we were setting off right on time under a beautiful harvest moon as the sun started to set over LA. We've got 3 days now across to Chicago, then a quick change, and then a continue on further east, all the way to the east coast of America. This is always a really enjoyable part of Amtrak for me, at least the first sort of couple of hours after you leave your initial point on the trip and you get settled into the train. It's rolling along, bouncing around. Not sure how long I'm going to be enjoying this for. I'm going to head down and get some dinner because it's almost dinner time. We've got these bedrooms down here. These are the ones that we stayed in last time. Rachel and I had one of these. These aren't the best. Genuinely, that's why I've taken just a roomette, because it's like a fraction of the price and still pretty decent. So each carriage that you're on the Amtrak, you've got water dispenser here, you've got a coffee pot that comes on from 6 in the morning, bottles of water up here, bottles of water. It's Tuesday, isn't it? And then like weird bits and pieces down here as well. And you can choose all of those free in all the sleeping cars anytime. You just come and grab them. But for now, it's dinner time. Let's go and get some tea. Alright, dinner time. The options, we've got appetizers, tempura shrimp or mixed green salad with baby brie, and then the entrees, the signature steak. I do like an Amtrak steak, pan roasted chicken breast, Atlantic salmon and pasta. And then there's like a kids menu as well, but I'm going to go, I think, for the flat iron steak tonight. Always nice, always good. And you get a free drink, but then you've got to pay for any extra booze you have after the first one, I think. So I might take one back to my room, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? The 90s but young.
The shrimp was actually pretty good, but the steak was amazing, as always on Amtrak. For dessert, I went for the cheesecake, which was equally delicious.
It's time for the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Alrighty then, the Lou Review on the Amtrak. There's basically one restroom on each carriage. The private bedrooms, you get your own loo, but we have to share them down here in the roomettes. And it's a little bit like an airplane bathroom. You've kind of got your toilets down there. There's the sink and the trash, tissues. There is a power outlet just there. There's a changing table there. If you like changing, you can lay on there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little bit basic. There is showers on here as well. They are downstairs. Yeah, they're shared again between everybody on the train. So yeah, not the best. My plan, I think, I mean, I've got 2 nights on this. I think when we arrive into Chicago, I'll try and grab a shower. Then I presume that's what I'll do. I don't know. We'll see how I feel in the morning. This is the loo. I'm going to head back to my room in a minute and get ready for the night.
That was the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
You know, it always amazes me how big California is. When you come on the train, it's like quite long and thin. It's not a very big state. It's nowhere near as big as Texas, but it still takes you hours to get out. Like, we left from LA like 3.5 hours ago now. We've literally just gone through Victorville, which to me, in my mind, it's only kind of just outside of LA. We've only just gone through there now after 3.5 hours. We've got miles to go until we cross into, I think, Arizona is our next stop. I'm going to be hopefully sleeping by then and then waking up in the morning. But it's a crazy big place. And one thing I will say though is, so far compared to some of the other Amtraks I've been on, this one is pretty smooth. And I'm touching wood heavily here, because some of the Amtraks I've been on, you literally get tossed and turned and thrown around. Maybe it will get like that when we get up into the mountains and stuff, I don't know. But right now, it's actually relatively smooth, relatively comfy, so it might be a good opportunity to try and get some sleep while it's actually relatively smooth. Alrighty then, it's time for bed. It's 9 o'clock Pacific time. For me, I'm on Central Time still. It's 11 o'clock at night, so it's my bedtime. Actually, the bed's pretty comfy. It's nice laying down here on the bottom bunk for a change. Normally, when I do these Amtraks with Rachel, I'm on the top bunk and she likes the downstairs one, but I can see why she likes it now. Might have to beg her for this one next time. But anyway, I'm going to try and get some sleep. We are just about to pull in, I think she's just said, to Barstow, California. Hopefully in the morning when I wake up, we'll be somewhere in Arizona or further, maybe even New Mexico, I don't know. We'll have to see. But for now, I'm going to try and get some sleep, and we'll see how well it goes on the Amtrak. Usually not that great, but we'll see tonight. Fingers crossed, we might do alright. See you in the morning. Good night.
The next morning, I woke to a beautiful sunrise.
Well, good morning from eastern Arizona. I fell asleep last night in Barstow, California, and overnight we've crossed the entire width of Arizona and are about to cross into New Mexico now. I have just had the best night's sleep that I have had in a very long time, let alone on a train. I don't normally sleep on trains. I just slept for 10 hours straight through. I went to sleep at like 9 o'clock last night and I've just woken up and it's 8 o'clock the following morning. Actually, that's 11 hours, isn't it? You know, spending 5 days crossing America by train gives you a lot of time to think. Watching the scenery slowly change, the deserts, the mountains, the endless plains. It's strangely peaceful, but also confronting. Somewhere between LA and New York, you can't help but start reflecting on life, where you've been, where you're going, and what's changed along the way. I've had quite a lot of those moments recently, those long stretches where you question whether you're on the right track, both literally and in life. And if I'm honest, there's been times when I've felt a bit lost. But therapy's helped me to find perspective again. Talking things through helped me to realise that slowing down doesn't mean that you're falling behind. Sometimes it's exactly what you need to find your direction again. And that's why I'm really happy to have BetterHelp as the sponsor of this video. A licensed therapist will listen, ask questions, and help you to see things from a new perspective. BetterHelp makes it easy to get started. You just fill out a quick questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist. And if it's not the right fit, well, you can switch anytime at no extra cost. It's that easy.
BetterHelp accepts both HSA and FSA cards, making it even easier to prioritise your mental health. In 2024 alone, over 137,000 people used their HSA or FSA benefits for therapy through BetterHelp, so be sure to use yours before they expire.
With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Head to betterhelp.com/Noel or click the link in my description to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/NOE.
I headed down for breakfast, where today I decided to go for the breakfast quesadillas, which were actually really tasty. The scenery across New Mexico is beautiful. The train follows the old Route 66 for much of this part of the journey, where you see dozens of abandoned old 1950s motels and casinos. It's fascinating to think how many people used to drive along this route, but kinda sad to see so many places abandoned. After a while, the motels gave way to Navajo art shops and fetish stalls as we pulled into the town of Gallup. After Gallup, we crossed the Continental Divide as we cruised over the Chihuahua Desert towards our next stop, Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes here because we're like 40 minutes early. Unheard of with the Amtrak, in my experience at least. So we've got about an hour and 20 minutes here. Gonna have a wander around, we'll see what's here, maybe grab a snack or something and then get back on the train, hopefully. Hopefully it's not gonna go without us. That would be bad. Oh no, flashbacks. This is where we came through on the Greyhound. On my first try on the Greyhound, doing coast to coast, we came through Albuquerque on that day. That's the Greyhound station. I didn't realise it was literally next to the Amtrak. Ooh, that's scary. The problem with a lot of these Amtrak stations is that there's not really much to do where the stations are. They're not in the actual downtown areas usually. Like this one, they're just outside downtown, which means you've got to walk into town, which is a little bit of a nervous thing for me, because if that train goes, well, it's going to go without me, whether I'm there or not. So we've got an hour. I'm not leaving it an hour. I'm going to give it maybe 10-20 minutes and then we'll head back. Do not want to risk missing this train. Otherwise I'm stuck here in Albuquerque. Nobody deserves that.
One thing I did have time for though was a supplies run before I hot-footed it back to the station.
Alrighty, got a few snacks from my room in a bit, which is nice. Head back to the train now. It doesn't leave for about another sort of 40 minutes, but I am so nervous about missing this thing. I do enjoy New Mexico though. I have been through here a few times. Santa Fe is absolutely gorgeous. I've been through on the Greyhound, I've been through on the train before as well, I think, and it's just such a beautiful part of the world. I love New Mexico. Right, train is still here. That's the one, that's the Badger. I do find it incredible that these things just pull this train the entire width of the United States. It's crazy. These two trains at the front here, the miles these things must rack up, the things they must have seen, just incredible. It's kind of why I love aviation as well, really, because you just sort of see these machines and you see the places they go and the things that they do, and it's just incredible.
After a while though, it was time to get back on board though for the next leg up into the mountains of northern New Mexico. For lunch today I chose the patty melt, which was seriously tasty actually. It comes with a side of potato chips and a dessert. I went for the butter cake. As I ate my lunch, the opposite direction Southwest Chief passed us heading to LA.
So this is the observation car that you can come in and just while away some time. It's got like little chairs that you can sit and watch, and these beautiful panoramic windows over the top, which is really nice. When you go through like mountainous areas, it's really, really pretty. There's a little buffet car kind of underneath downstairs here as well. It's closed at the minute because they go for lunch and for dinner, and I don't know, they have more breaks than me, I think, but it's closed right now. So I can't go down and get anything from there, but I'm going to come and sit in here for a little bit and we'll enjoy some of the scenery as we go through the north of New Mexico into Colorado soon, and then crossing the bottom corner of Colorado into Kansas.
As the day wore on, we wound our way slowly through the mountains of northern New Mexico before reaching our last New Mexico stop, Raton.
Alright, this is Raton, New Mexico. Last stop in New Mexico, sun's about to set. We're about to head across into Colorado, and I figured that as the sun was about to set, I'd come and have a look out here because it's going to be getting dark soon. Alright, we have just literally left New Mexico and entered Colorado. It is 6 o'clock at night. We woke up this morning having just got into New Mexico. It's taken us all day, and these last few hours have been absolutely tedious. We've just been crawling at like 15-20 mile an hour. It's insane. I really hope we pick up some speed. We've only just entered Colorado. We're supposed to be in Chicago tomorrow.
So Old Faithful here went for the steak once again, and it was just as delicious as it had been the night before. Things started to get a little bit bouncy as we headed across Colorado, but at least we were starting to see some fancy Christmas lights.
And then we're well and truly into Colorado now. We've just gone through La Junta, Colorado, and it's getting a little bit bumpier, that has to be said. We're honking a lot at the moment. There must be a lot of level crossings. Over here they have to honk the horn every level crossing. Trust me, we live near a level crossing, and every night we get the freight trains going through and we can hear that. Well, good morning. I have woken up in a state of misery today, or should I say in the state of misery. We've just left Kansas City. We're heading out now across Missouri all the way up to Chicago, and it's day 3 on the train. We're kind of almost halfway across the country now. It's starting to drag a bit and I'm starting to ache a bit. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty looking at the changing scenery out of the window and stuff. It's great. And it certainly beats the Greyhound, but it's still uncomfortable. It's still a brutal 5-day journey across the country. But hey, we are where we are, which is in the middle of some beautiful farmland. It's all green this morning, by the way. It was brown when we left Colorado. When the sun went down, it was brown up there and it's green over here, so that's pretty nice. I might go down and get some brekkie in a minute. All right then, Fort Madison, Iowa. And we've stopped, there's another train. Look at this thing, look, red train here. I've actually been through Iowa a number of times on the train, but I've never actually stepped off, so I thought I'd stop off here to say I've actually officially set foot in Iowa. And yeah, here we go. It's very pretty, nice little station there. We've got a train and everything here as well. We've got to stay close to the train because we're leaving in about 2 minutes. So I just thought I'd step off here, get some fresh air, enjoy Iowa.
We weren't in Iowa for too long though, because as soon as you leave the station at Fort Madison, you cross the beautiful Fort Madison Bridge into the next state along this journey, Illinois.
We are just crossing the Mississippi River into the final state of the first leg of this journey. We're heading into Illinois. That's Iowa behind us, and this is Illinois we're just rolling into now.
As we crossed Illinois, I enjoyed my last meal on the Southwest Chief. For lunch today I chose the chili, which was pretty nice, albeit a relatively small portion. The butter cake did make up for it though. The last few hours of the Southwest Chief take you across the farmland of Illinois through larger and larger towns as you get closer to Chicago.
We are now running about half an hour late, but that's okay because I do have 3.5 hours there, so as long as we don't get any more delayed, I think we might be okay. I just hope I have time to run and grab a shower and freshen up in Chicago before we jump on the next train for the second half of this journey. This is crazy. Like, I've been on this train now for 3 days. And I'm only just a little bit over halfway through the journey. It's crazy.
And sure enough, before too long, the open fields of Illinois soon gave way to the sprawling metropolis of Chicago, as we pulled into Union Station with a delay of around 40 minutes. With just 2 hours to connect in Chicago now, I'd have to get to the lounge, get showered and get back to the platform for my next train to continue this mad adventure.
Alright, Chicago, Illinois, halfway there. We've made it, this far at least. Good old Amtrak, that's not bad, we're less than an hour late, that's always a win. Oh, isn't this just the most beautiful station in America? I think, well, the American flag up there, look, we've got Clinton Street behind us. We've got the back door down there, that's Lewinsky Street down there, I guess, and just a beautiful, absolutely beautiful grand hall they've got here. Anyway, there is a lounge. I'm going to go and head to the lounge and we'll see if we can freshen up a little bit, because I've got another 2 days on the train now across to New York from here. So we're at the halfway point now, and the end is in sight. Hi there. Hey, how are you? So I come in on that one and I'm going out on that one.
Okay, thank you. Get this around your wrist.
All right.
You'll still wait at the sign until they call you up and just getting you prepared to go into the room, okay?
Amazing.
And this
Thank
is
you.
just pretty much checking you in, okay?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very good, thanks. How are you? Your ticket? Wow. Wait, are you Noel Flip-Flops?
Yeah, I am. How are you?
Oh my goodness, I watched
Good
you.
to meet you. Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's awesome.
What train are you on?
Lincoln service to St. Louis. So it's like, so yeah, I came from a blue water train. From like Kalamazoo, Michigan, so I'm going to school in Michigan.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Well, I'll let you be.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you. Good to meet you.
Me too.
Oh, that feels so much better now. The worst thing about these trips is when you do like these multiple day trips, and the fact that you end up feeling so grotty at the end of it. I hate it. It just feels horrible than just having a chance to freshen up. Alrighty then, time to head down to the gate, or the platform, or the train station bit for the next leg of my great coast-to-coast adventure. We're heading to New York City now. Another 2 days on the train. Let's go.
4 or 50, step up, or 383.
We'll get there eventually.
Alright, here we go again.
So my next train then was a 2-day hop on Amtrak's Cardinal service, crossing Appalachia into the East Coast. Even just climbing aboard this train, it felt very different to the first one.
Right then, welcome on board the Cardinal train across to New York. And this is going to take us now through the kind of northeastern states around Kentucky and Virginia and DC, all the way up to New York by tomorrow evening. We've got about 30 hours on this train. So this is actually quite nice. This is much nicer than the one I had, I would say, on the previous train. That was really crowded, really cramped, and you know, it had been kind of half updated. It wasn't the best. This is massive. This is beautiful. They've got this whole kind of open space just here. Even got room up there to put my bags. I never had that on the other train. And there's windows right the way up to the ceiling here as well. We've got a little sink over here. Look at that, look, that pops down and there's a sink. Got a mirror there, we've got little cups, we've got power, we've got 2 power outlets right just here. Mirror lights just there as well. We've got ceiling light controls over here. We've got 2 more outlets. That's 4 power outlets in this room compared to the 1 in the previous one. AC vents up here. We've got an actual aircon thermostat just here that we can control the individual room temperature. Over here, look at these windows. We've not only got the big window down here, but we've got this huge window right up here as well. And it goes right to the top of the train. We're not crowded into the top floor of a train here. There's only 1 level on this train. I don't know. I've never been on an Amtrak like this before. This mahogany effect that they've got going on as well makes it look really nice as well, really sort of classy. The seats are done in this kind of maroon almost colour here. Why have I never been on one of these before? This train doesn't have a dining car or an observation car like the last one because it's got these new big rooms. These are these new Viewliner 2 trains, which is why they've got the extra windows at the top and they're a bit more modern apparently. Because there's no dining car, it's all dine on demand. You just order whatever food you want and they bring it to your room and you eat it in your room. There's a menu here that we'll go through, we'll have a look. I actually quite like that. It means I can be lazy and stay in my room. So for lunch/dinner, we have beef paprika, which I think is like a stew, and Asian meatballs, but there's no meat, so it's just like plant balls. Butter chicken, so I might go for that. That's a nice curry. Asian barbecue glazed salmon, or the chicken fettuccine alfredo for tea. I think I'll go for the butter chicken actually. Continental breakfast, bourbon apple crepes, or a 3 cheese omelette. That's it. Nothing really, no French toast on this route, sadly.
But I didn't have too long to worry about that because pretty soon we were pulling out of the station.
On the move.
out of Chicago. Yes. Next stop, New York. Alright, my dinner has arrived. This is all very civilised. I've got me curry, which looks like a microwave curry from down Walmart's. It's the sort of thing you'd get from there. We've got a cob to dunk in me curry, and a butter cake. Good old butter cake. I mean, it's great. It just tastes very much like a microwave dinner, and I wonder if that's what they've done. So they've been round and made up my bed. They actually come and make your bed up for you on this train, unlike the other one where you sort of end up doing it yourself. So yeah, that's been quite nice. The other good thing this train has got that the other one didn't have is free Wi-Fi on it. Apparently, I was chatting to the guy. He said these new Viewliner 2s are all like from 2020, so they're only like 5 years old, which is quite nice, and you can tell.
I soon fell asleep as we crossed Indiana, and the next morning I woke up close to the border with West Virginia.
Oh, good morning. We are in Huntington, West Virginia. We've stopped, so I'm going to go down and get my breakfast. I slept pretty well, actually. I went to sleep at like 10:30. Oh gosh, it's cold here. And woke up this morning at 7:30. Not too bad. Let's go and get some brekkie. Alright, so back in my room. I went down and got breakfast in the cafe car this morning rather than trying to get it ordered to my room. They do have a cafe car, which is kind of just where you go and buy snacks and stuff. So I went down there and had my breakfast. I had a crib. It was really nice. We're in West Virginia at the moment, and it's really a really pretty town. Look at this.
Crossing West Virginia was absolutely beautiful. We passed through tiny Appalachian towns along the banks of roaring rivers and through absolutely stunning scenery. It's no wonder John Denver called West Virginia almost heaven because, well, it really is.
This country never fails to amaze me in terms of how beautiful it is. This is supposed to be the less scenic part of my coast-to-coast adventure. Look at this. Incredible. America is just such a stunning country. Genuinely, from coast to coast, it never stops being absolutely beautiful. It's probably why I love it so much. Honestly, I think America might be the most beautiful country on planet Earth in terms of the diversity of the scenery and how beautiful it is, literally constantly from one side to the other. It's just such an amazing place, and I'm so blessed that I'm able to call it home. This is home. It's amazing. Alright, lunch time. Gone for the old favourite, the butter chicken again. I quite liked it last night. I might have the meatballs tonight, or the non-meatballs. We'll see what they're like tonight, but for now we'll go for the butter chicken again. And a can of Coke as we roll through the beautiful scenery of West Virginia. We're nearly in Virginia now. I think we'll cross over into there in a minute. So we'll go from West Virginia to non-West Virginia.
Unfortunately, my excitement to be entering Virginia was short-lived though, as we came to a stop and stayed there.
Alright, we came to a stop about an hour ago and we're stuck here. Just in the middle of nowhere. We've been sat here now for about an hour. We're just outside of, looking at the map, we're outside of a place called Clifton Forge in West Virginia, or normal Virginia, I don't know. I don't know which side of the line it's on, but anyway, we're sitting outside Clifton Forge right now. Been here for an hour now. I don't know whether we're going to be slipping past our arrival time into New York later. Hopefully not, because it's going to be late anyway, and I need sleep.
Eventually though, we started moving, albeit in the wrong direction.
So now we've just started going backwards. So we've been here for about an hour and a half now, and now they've started moving back that way. I have a feeling this is not a good thing. I don't know what's back that way. Maybe they're pulling us into like a siding or something. But I know that the next station is Charlottesville, and that's that way, so I don't know where we're going now.
We waited some more, and then finally an announcement came through.
The way we're going to take, we're still waiting on this freight traffic to clear up. That was one of many trains that went by we was waiting on.
So waiting on some freight trains apparently to move out of the way. Slow freight trains, it's taking like an hour and a half. Oh my goodness, we are actually moving forward. 2 hours we've been sat here. I know this little town here intimately now. I've seen people coming and going. We've been past the same houses 3 or 4 times.
Hey, but we're going. Let's go. We might have been moving, but we weren't moving very fast. We spent the next several hours crawling through Virginia at a snail's pace. We were moving so slowly, in fact, that it actually got dark.
Alright, so we are now about 2.5 hours late, and we're running, well, we're seriously late now anyway. We're just crawling still through Virginia right now. It's now 6:30 at night. We're supposed to be arriving into New York at about 9 o'clock tonight, but now it's going to be more like midnight when we get in. But it does mean that I've got time to have another dinner on board, so they brought around my next dinner, and I've gone for the meatballs tonight. The meatballs that apparently don't have meat in them. I don't know, but you only get one alcoholic beverage on this train in the entire duration, so I've only got Coke tonight. So let's have a look at my meatballs. I mean, I don't know how you can call them meatballs if there's no meat in them, but hey, I'm not an expert on balls or vegans or anything, so yeah. I mean, it doesn't look the most appetizing, but hey, we'll give it a go. We'll see what it's like. That's really not the greatest. It's like almost like a ball of mashed potato rather than meat. I don't even know why they get the word meat in there. But meat or no meat, we eventually pulled into the capital city over 2 hours late. We are just starting to roll into Washington, DC, about 2 hours behind schedule. Now, we've made up a little bit of time on this run into Alexandria, which is where we've just left. When we get to DC, apparently they're going to be changing trains at that point. They're switching the loco to an electric one from a diesel for the next leg up to New York. So who knows? I wonder if we're going to get any faster with electric. I'm not sure. Either way, I was pretty sure a change of loco in DC wasn't going to do much for our delay. By the time they'd messed around swapping trains over, the question was, how much of an impact would it have? Alright, we arrived in Washington DC. We're going to get the power cut in a minute while they switch trains and put us an electric train on for the next leg. There it goes. And they said as soon as that's done, we'll be on our way up to New York now. I could get off here. I could get off here literally and say I've done coast to coast, couldn't I? But we don't do that. I could just get off here, head to a hotel, and then jump on a flight. DC is a bloody hub for United. I could be home tonight or tomorrow. But no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Continuing on, we've got another, it's currently 7:30. We're going to be arriving at about midnight. So it's going to take us about 4.5 hours now to get from DC up to New York. Now, considering that's longer than it would take to drive and 4 times longer than just taking a plane, it was becoming clear that despite this being Amtrak's prestigious Northeast Corridor, even in this well-connected part of the country, trains aren't entirely useful around here. Still, at least they have pretty Christmas lights to look at. Alright, it's 11 o'clock at night. We've just left Philadelphia now. We should have been in New York 2 hours ago, but we're still just leaving Philly, and it's going to be another hour and a half into New York from Philly now. I always thought they were quite close together, but we've got 3 stops. We've got to stop in Trenton, Newark, and then finally New York City. We're literally just outside New York City now. I can see the skyline just over there, and yet we're stopped stationary. Our delayed time of arrival was 10 minutes ago. It's come and gone. We're still here. Eventually though, somehow we pulled to a stop in Manhattan. My coast-to-coast journey finally over.
Station be to your...
This way, I think.
Yeah, you can go to your right.
This way here, okay. I need this way, thank you. Alright, we made it. New York. 4 days, the entire width of this country. And we made it to New York. Get out of here. I've got grand plans of going up to Times Square and filming a really nice outro, but it's 1 in the morning. We're 3 hours late. I've got a flight home at 7 this morning. Yeah, this morning. So I need to go and get some rest. But let's go and get to the hotel. There we are then, New York. New York.
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
And a hotel, so hopefully not too far. About a 20-minute walk, it reckons. Walking through the centre of New York City at 1 o'clock in the morning on my own, solo. What could go wrong?
sorry.
Well, that wasn't sketch at all, was it? But I made it to my hotel. Whew, finally. Oh, what view have I got? Oh, there's my view. That's not a bad view. It's not a bad room for a New York City hotel, let me tell you this, although for the price they charge for these things, it's ridiculous. Like $400 for one night in this thing. And it's just a basic bog standard Hilton. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought, as always, down in those comments. I'm off to get some sleep. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.